Am I the asshole for telling my ex to stop giving my daughter lunch money? I have a daughter, Emily, 16 female, with my ex. She chose to live with my ex and his wife and kids the majority of the time because she has to share her room with her stepsister Laura, 15, at my house. My ex gives Emily $25 a week to buy lunch. Emily's and Laura's school is down the street from a lot of restaurants, so instead of buying school lunches, she leaves campus to buy herself and her friends lunch. The problem is she sees Laura at school and won't get her anything even though she gets her friends lunch all the time. I talked to Emily about it and she said it's because her friends pay her back and Laura can't. Emily knows we can't afford to give Laura that kind of money, and I know she works part-time and gets an extra allowance from her dad, so I asked her to occasionally buy Laura lunch to make her feel better. She refused. I called her dad and hoped that as a parent, he's understand what I was trying to do, but he said Laura's feelings are not his or Emily's responsibility and that if she wants to buy lunch off campus, she should get a part-time job like Emily. I tried to explain that Laura is in sports and she has ADHD and depression, so it would be hard for her to work, but he said that's my and my husband's problem and hung up. Laura came home crying the other day because Emily came back with food from her favorite restaurant and didn't give her anything or offer to share, so I called my ex and told him that he needs to stop giving Emily lunch money and have her make her own lunches because she was hurting Laura. He refused to listen to me and told Emily that I'm telling him to not let her go out at lunch because of Laura, and Emily hasn't spoken to me except to say that she's going to stay at her dad's full-time for a while. You are the asshole. Are you even listening to yourself right now? I see why she's living with your ex. Your child's happiness is your responsibility. Why should someone else need to stop giving a child lunch money because your spawn is unhappy? That is not how the world works. Edit. Thank you for the upvotes and awards. Did not expect this comment to explode lol. Edit 2. Even worse than I thought. You're trying to take from your biological spawn, sacrificing one child's happiness for the other. Just to be clear though, bio or not, you still have no place telling somebody else how to parent. I really hope you aren't hated by the end of all this. Her friends pay her back and Laura can't. Enough said. $25 a week is $5 per school day. Emily isn't swimming in money, and she works for what she has. She doesn't have to be funding your stepdaughter's wants. Laura doesn't work because she is in sports. That is her choice and not Emily's nor her dad's responsibility. Laura is old enough to understand that, and the main reason she is getting hurt right now is because you are leading her to think she is entitled to somebody else's money. Every time that Laura comes crying due to this, look at yourself and at your husband, because your parenting is the reason she is getting heartbroken at not getting what you lead her to think she is entitled to have. You are the asshole. Your ex is right. Laura's feelings about your not being able to provide lunch money isn't Emily's or your ex's problem. Your ex can parent the way he wants to in his house. You don't have a right to tell him how to parent on his own time. You are the asshole. Why isn't your husband giving Laura money then? It's not your daughter's job and your ex's job to get Laura lunch. And having ADHD and depression isn't an excuse for not working. You find healthy ways to manage that. Sounds like you've thrown your actual kid aside. You are the asshole. $25 is not a lot of money for a week's worth of food. I highly doubt she's making it rain at the club with that. You are the asshole. Why is your ex responsible for your new husband's child? I can see why she's living with your ex. Her money that she earns and her father gives her. Your other child is not entitled to. Sorry, but she's not. Plenty of kids with ADHD work. Let your daughter get a job. It will be good for her. You are the asshole. Laura's feelings about this are none of your ex's concern. I'm also wondering why Laura takes so much time to notice what Emily gets for lunch every day. That's kind of odd. Don't they have different friends? Am I the asshole for not wanting my 12-year-old sister to visit me in college with my mom? So basically I'm away at school and only see my family for Thanksgiving and Christmas. I have a 12-year-old sister who is really immature, clingy towards my mom, and she gets super jealous. Back in November my mom drove down to visit me and we had the best weekend ever. My 12-year-old sister was very disappointed that she didn't get to come for the visit and insists that she comes with my mom to visit for my birthday. The thing is, I really think this is only because my sister has weird jealousy issues whenever I get time with my mom. My sister doesn't like shopping or any of the things that I do with my mom. She is always hanging off of my mom or whining. I really don't want to see her, and especially not for my birthday. My mom wants to bring her and says she won't come unless my sister is able to come along because apparently it's not fair to leave her at home with my dad. I tried to explain that my sister will understand when she is 18 and away for school, plus she gets our parents all to herself any other day now. I just think she should be able to understand and get over it. Life isn't fair. Edit for more context. The plan is to take a spa day and do some shopping. My sister hates both of these activities. Usually by the end of our shopping she is spread on the floor and crying about wanting to go back home. It is exhausting. Edit again. Thank you everyone who has responded. I appreciate the opinions and all your different perspectives for this situation. I'm going to have a serious conversation with my mom about it tomorrow and I'm hoping we can come to some type of compromise. If not, I will invite a friend instead. Not the asshole. It's your birthday. And you're right. She gets mom and dad all the time. You want your time. Mom giving you an ultimatum is unfair. Not the asshole. Tell your mom. It says something that you are willing to not get any time with me, the child you don't see often, if it would mean missing a couple days of seeing the child you see every day. Think to yourself about whether this would be a pattern you want to see repeated in our adulthood, where you only have a relationship with her because each of us will be making time for you in the same way you made time for us. If you really don't value having a relationship with me, if it means leaving off coddling her for even a second, by all means continue what you are doing. Not the asshole. I'm still trying to digest the idea of a 12-year-old, spread on the floor and crying about wanting to go back home. 12 years old and doing that? Yipes. You're clearly not the asshole for wanting to see your mom alone so that you can spend your birthday doing activities you enjoy, which clearly isn't possible with your sister there. Out of interest, have you parents sought any help for your sister's attachment issues? Not the asshole. I'd probably mention to your mom that you just want to spend time with her. No assholes here, you are an adult and you want alone time with your mom. Your mom wants you to have a relationship with your sister. Can you compromise and tell your mom that it is your birthday and you want to spend it with her, and that your sister can visit another time? If she can't spend a day without mommy at 12, she's got serious issues. Call your mom's bluff, tell her not to come. I know that's not the answer you want, but you have to weigh the odds. Great day with your friends or dealing with your sister's tantrums. Or set a boundary, let mom know if she starts you're done. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Just have another conversation with your mom. Tell her that you want alone time with her to do things you both enjoy. Again, push that your sister gets mom to herself all the time and you barely get to see her. So one-on-one time would be amazing. Also tell her the next time after your birthday comes up, bring everyone up if possible to have a family outing, but you would like your birthday to just be you and her. Am I the asshole for wearing a bikini to my family vacation? I, 22F, went on vacation with my immediate family last summer. We rented out a beautiful beach house and spent a whole week there. I am naturally shy, so I had an ankle-length sundress that I wore when I wasn't swimming or sunbathing. I had a great time at the beach, but my mom was fuming the whole time and refused to tell anyone why. When I got back from vacation and was packing up to go back to college, she busted into my room and demanded how on earth I would think it was okay to dress like that in front of my brothers and dad. She said that I was mooning everyone on the beach and that it was embarrassing for her and that if I dressed like that when I was a kid she would have locked me in the hot car. I was flabbergasted. My bikini was a scoop neck sports bra style and the bottoms were the cheeky kind. It wasn't like it was a triangle and a thong or anything. The only explanation I could think of was when I got flattened by a huge wave and walked away with a wedgie. But that happens to everybody at some point or another at the beach, right? I calmly told her that I was an adult and could wear what I wanted, and I apologized that I made her uncomfortable. My sisters were wearing them too and she didn't talk to them about it. Plus, the idea that she would think wearing a bikini around my brothers and dad is wrong really made my skin crawl. This seemed to tick her off even more, and she accused me of trying to seduce my brother-in-law by wearing a two-piece. Note: he wasn't even on vacation with us, he was out of state. She then said if I didn't promise to wear a one-piece bathing suit then I wouldn't be allowed to attend any future family vacations. I said okay, and walked away. She recently brought it up again and it made me really rethink the whole situation. I get that it might have sounded like a simple request, and that I can dig my own grave by refusing to do something as simple as change a swimsuit. But my mom has bullied me for my appearance since I was in elementary school and controlled the things that I wore and ate so strictly that it gave me an ed. I felt like by standing up to her I was standing up for myself. Plus, she said all those mean things. Was I really being inappropriate in front of my family? I really didn't do anything at the beach besides collecting shells, sunbathing on a towel, and swimming. Am I the asshole for not bending to a simple request? Not the asshole. It is bone-shudderingly creepy that she is implying your father and brother are sexually attracted to you to disguise her own discomfort with your body. Not the asshole malicious compliance the shit out of this and get a one piece that has a thong. First of all, you are way beyond old enough to have freedom in what you wear. Second, if she's implying what you're wearing is inappropriate around your male family members, either the male family members are sick or she is sick for implying that they think of your body in that way, and it sounds like the latter. I'm sorry your mother embarrassed you and has made so many unnecessary comments about your body over the years. I truly relate, and their words are so harsh in the back of your head even years later. If I dressed like that when I was a kid, she would have locked me in the hot car. That makes her the absolute asshole, and a sadistic one at that. Not the asshole and your mom is being horrid. She would have locked you in a hot car as a kid? WTF, who in their right mind would say something like that? Really sick, not the asshole. It sounds like you might be a little more blessed in the looks department. In high school, we had a dress code, but it was only enforced on the blessed girls. Some girls could wear shorts or tank tops or leggings and no one batted an eyelash. But if you were busty or had a nice rump, forget about it. Your mom is being hypocritical. She's also being cruel, and I wonder if she is jealous of you. Not the asshole. If your family's looking at you in that way because of a bikini, there's far bigger issues with them, and then only. Not the asshole, your mom is very much in the wrong. Not the asshole at all. Your mom has some serious issues. Whether it's internalized misogyny or straight-up jealousy, it's hard to say, but it's absolutely not your issue. I know it's easy for me to say just stick up for yourself and ignore her, but believe me when I tell you this has everything to do with her and nothing you did wrong. Am I the asshole for fighting back against another child receiving gifts on my son's birthday? I had a rough past year, including losing my husband to cancer, job and my home. My 9-year-old son and I moved in with my sister, her husband and their 8-year-old son while I tried to figure out next steps. I did find a new job rather quickly, but it's taken me some time to find affordable housing. Suffice to say, a birthday party really isn't in the budget. My mom offered to throw one for him and I agreed, thanking her profusely. The party will be thrown in my sister's backyard, she's okay with that. We were working on invitations. I always say something to the effect of, no gifts please, your presence is a present enough, this year more than ever. My son has a ton of toys and given we're living out of the same room currently, there's just not enough space for more stuff. My sister wanted to add, if you do bring gifts, please bring one for both kids. I was confused and she told me that my nephew struggles on birthdays. I have noticed in the past that he doesn't seem to enjoy birthday parties, but I assumed like some kids, he's just not social. No, apparently, he can't handle watching other kids open gifts. I told her that it's ridiculous to expect my son to share the spotlight with her. She pointed out that I've lived with her rent-free for a year and the party is at her house, so we need to follow her rules. I said if this is how she felt, then we won't have the party at all. My mom says I'm being ridiculous and to just have the party. If I don't, it'll spite my son more than my sister. I feel it's just ridiculous. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. Your son has had quite the traumatic year. He deserves to have his presence celebrated without having to share the spotlight on his special day. Your sister is kind to allow you to live with her, but if she's going to hold it over your head, is it truly kind? Not the asshole. An 8-year-old boy is plenty old enough to understand what a birthday is and who gets the presents. Your sister is raising a boy who will become a nightmare of a teen man. However, you just learned that her help has strings attached. Ask mom to have the party at her house or at a local park. And find a new living arrangement if possible. Your sister is a big aw. Not the asshole, your sister is being ridiculous, and it's also a big asshole move to expect guests up bring a gift for her child when it's not even his birthday. He sounds like a spoiled brat. Not the asshole unless your kid's D is desperate for a party. It's creepy AF. Your sister is sure raising someone who will be a hero of many threads here. You're not the asshole here, but your sister is. Honestly, she should be embarrassed asking this of you and your guests. 1. Your son has had a rough year and deserves the attention. 2. Why should guests buy 2 presents? This is just strange. Can you find somewhere else to hold the party? Please tell her not to set her son up for trouble in his adult years. He needs to learn that not everything is about him. Not the asshole. Expecting your guests to bring 2 gifts is so rude, weird, and entitled. Not to forget, some might not even come because of this. Also, what about the people who can't afford to bring 2 gifts? This is wrong on so many levels. No, apparently, he can't handle watching other kids open gifts. That's because your sister never taught him to. She is raising a spoiled child. Ask your mother if she really wants her grandson to be happy, then host the part somewhere else than your sister's house, or just try to spend as much time with your son on his birthday. Do things which he likes. Make his favorite food and watch movies with him. I think he will be happy with this. Not the asshole. She is teaching her kid that it is okay to make everything about him. Not the asshole. Sorry for your loss about your husband. That's insane. A kid can't handle a birthday party if they aren't getting a gift too. Talk about entitled. Your sister is the asshole for sure.